So last night we got the VHS tape of Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas, the little therapy session. In this video, we are going to be breaking down everything in that VHS tape, as well as just the WYATT SICKS segment in general. And if you do enjoy this video, hit that like button for me, turn on those notifications, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. It's very much appreciated. Let's go. Just before the video starts, a massive shout out to SlamX on X. Yeah, this is his Twitter thread, so I'm kind of using that as a guide and then giving my opinions on it. So I'll leave the link to all of his stuff in the description. Be sure to go and check it out. Yeah, let's get on with the video. So the tape opens up with some glitches and then a shot of the WYATT SICKS in general. Just, I don't know where it is. I don't know if it's part of the photo shoot they did the other day. There was a thing, there was like a Raw promo email that people got, and there was like an image of the WYATT SICKS that we hadn't seen before on that. This is not that image, but yeah, so I mean, they've done a photo shoot at some point. It then shows Uncle Howdy, and we don't actually know who he's facing. We know he's facing someone and talking to somebody, but at this point, we don't know who it is. He asks them, "Are you happy? How have you been since the loss? Do you feel as though you've been forgotten? Do you even remember who you are?" And these are actually things we've heard in a previous QR code. And I believe that these are the questions that maybe the therapist asked to either Uncle Howdy or Bo. That we still don't know who was sat in that therapy session, the actual therapy session, not this one. But it then moves on, and it's then revealed that Uncle Howdy is talking to Bo Dallas, Taylor Rotunda, and Bo simply says, "I'm nobody," which again is from another QR code that we've had, and I think it's on the journal. So on the journal there's an entry that's called "To Be Free," and it's quite short, it's 2 lines, and it basically says, "I am nobody, I am all of us." So Uncle Howdy, Bo says "I'm nobody" on this tape, right? In this therapy session with Uncle Howdy, or this sit-down conversation, whatever you want to call it. So he says "I'm nobody," and instantly you realise that, okay, well, he's not said "I'm all of us." So to me, now, I'm viewing this "To Be Free" entry a little bit different, because now to me, it seems that Taylor was the one that wrote "I am nobody," and then maybe Uncle Howdy is actually all of them, and that he wrote "I am all of us." You know? I don't know, again, just that whole split character thing. So Bo Dallas could be basically saying "I'm nobody without Uncle Howdy" kind of thing. And to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, in the most respectful way possible, this is the most people have really cared about Bo Dallas in WWE. I mean, obviously, in NXT, it was the whole Bo Leave thing, right? That he got called up to the main roster. It was fun, but it was a bit of a meme gimmick, you know what I mean? And then he ended up going into, like, the Social Outcasts and stuff like that. And he kind of just was there, you know? Whereas now that he's Uncle Howdy, people were all of a sudden really interested. They were like, okay, well, who is Uncle Howdy? Obviously, back when we first saw Uncle Howdy alongside Bray, everyone was like, well, who is Uncle Howdy then? Who's under that mask? So all of a sudden, people were interested. So it kind of fits. And then after this, Uncle Howdy replies to Bo by saying, "There you are." Again, we've seen that written down on pieces of paper, I believe, in previous QR codes. But yeah, I think it's some of the later QR codes, if I'm not mistaken. And then Howdy all of a sudden just, out of nowhere pretty much, says, "How did it feel when your brother died?" And it's quite blunt. But again, we've had this in a QR code. We had like a little mystery, I don't know what you'd call it. Is it a Sudoku thing? I don't know. But basically, you had to kind of fill in the thing. There was like a grid with numbers, and you had to figure out what it was supposed to say. Which it did spell out, "How did it feel when your brother died?" And then Bo replies with the most heartbreaking sentences that he could reply with. So Bo replies, "Like the most important thing in my life was taken away from me. Like nothing was ever gonna matter again. I mean, look, as a UK wrestling fan, right? It's like gone 3 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, I had to watch this on Twitter because my internet was playing up when I was trying to do reactions and stuff. But so yeah, I didn't see this live, but watching it on Twitter, it was like 3:30, something like that. I was watching this 3:30 in the morning, and admittedly, my brain was not that awake, right? Because how can you be at 3:30 in the morning? But yeah, it wasn't really registering the weight of the words, but even like that moment still got me, and I was like, oh, like that really stood out, and that was one of the very few things that did go in the first time I watched this. It is heartbreaking, isn't it? I mean, he just finally gets to work with Bray in a way that they've both wanted, and then obviously the universe takes Bray away from us. So Howdy then says, after Bo has said that, Howdy then says, don't you think you're just exploiting your brother's legacy? Which I've seen a few people on Twitter have that concern and be like, well, is this not just WWE trying to get some cash? Is this not Taylor just trying to cash in as well? Like, I've seen a few people, admittedly not everyone, and it is a minority of wrestling fans that are, you know, concerned that this is being done for the wrong reasons. But if I'm completely honest, the way I'm looking at it, it is honouring Bray and it's finishing that story that Bray started to tell. We never got closure on it, you know. And look, I'm a person that needs closure, you know. And look, I'm here for it. I mean, I'm fully invested in this and it's hardly even got going yet. Which is crazy to say, considering that, you know, Nightbird we had for a few months. But yeah, they just have not even got going yet. And I'm already so invested, and it feels like there's already been so much. But if you actually look at it in terms of storytelling, there's been a lot. But in terms of the actual main story, if you will, like, Nightbird is just the build-up, right? Nightbird's the build-up. They then arrive. Now we've started the main story. Now we've actually got going, you know? Yeah, a lot of people seem to think that this is just WWE having a little jab at critics that are saying that, oh, they're only doing this so they can kind of live off of Bray, if that makes sense. Bo then says, all I ever wanted my whole life was to be like my brother. I looked up to him and I wanted to be him. And I worked my entire career, my life, so I could have the opportunity, so I could work there next to him. I mean, again, man, the universe is a cruel place, isn't it? Cruel, cruel place. We finally get, well, sorry, they finally get Bray and Bo, they finally get to work together in a creative way that they've always wanted. And then the universe, just as that's about to start to get going, the universe takes Bray away, and just, it is heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking. He then also, in that same breath, says, and we were going to rule together, and we'd finally made it, we were there, we had it, and then it was taken away from me. I mean, it's so powerful, and it caught a lot of people off guard. It caught me way off guard, because I did not expect this. I thought, as soon as we had the Nikki segment, I thought we were done. With the WYATT SICKS, I thought, okay, they're now taking a bit of a slower approach, which I don't mind. Taking the slower approach, and they're not going to rush it. I mean, it's just heartbreaking for Bo, for Taylor. Like, it's heartbreaking for all of them, but I feel like Bo has been hit one of the hardest. Maybe his dad as well. Like, not that it's like, you know, you can measure that, but like Bo, you can feel his pain in this segment. You really can feel what he was feeling. You know what I mean? Bo continues, and he says, there is no one on this earth that feels more hurt than me from his loss. Not one person on earth feels what I feel. Which, again, is that thing of, like, they always had this dream, and, you know, just as they achieve that dream, just as they're about to tell this story, Bray is all of a sudden no longer with us, you know? And it's a very cruel mix of what I assume Bo was feeling was, you know, sadness, obviously because he's just lost his brother, he's lost a family member, but also just the anger at the universe. I mean, look, we've all experienced loss, right? And you start to look at the universe like, why? Like, you start asking these questions that you're never going to get an answer to. And you start to really get angry. Obviously, people deal with grief in many different ways, right? Everybody's different. But I know for me, from loss that I've experienced, I do kind of look at the universe and I'm like, well, why? Why them? Why now? Like, should I have been doing something differently? You know, you start asking all these questions that no one's ever going to be able to answer. So I feel like we all relate with Bo on that, you know? And what am I supposed to do? Let him become a mausoleum? I don't know what that is. Let everybody forget about what he stood for, what he fought for, what he believed in. I'm going to Google that real quick, so give me a second. Okay, so Googling what a mausoleum is. Apparently it's an impressive building housing a tomb or a group of tombs. Okay. I'm struggling to see the connection there. So what am I supposed to do? Let him become a... So I don't know if there's a deeper meaning there that I'm missing. But I don't really get what he's trying to say with that. I feel like maybe it's the idea of like, what am I supposed to do? Just let him be forgotten kind of thing. But I could be wrong on that. I'm not entirely seeing the link with that. But they wanted to forget about me. They wanted to forget about all of us. And Howdy seems to develop more of a smile, and he seems to get a bit of joy the more that Bo like opens up and the more Bo gets frustrated and angry. It's as if he is feeding off of it. It's as if Uncle Howdy is not feeding off of Bo's pain, but like maybe he's having like a proud brother moment. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of looking at Bo and he's going, finally, you see the vision kind of thing. Because obviously Uncle Howdy is a Bray Wyatt creation, right? Bray came up with the character and all of that stuff. You know, Bo didn't come up with Uncle Howdy. It was Bray's creation. So, I don't know. There's still a lot of stuff like, well, how is Uncle Howdy now back? Because he was in Bray's mind. He was a Bray creation. He was all of this, right? There's still a lot of unanswered questions. But yeah, Howdy does seem to be getting happier as the segment goes on. It's kind of like he's feeding off of it. Like, Bo is getting more angry, and then you have Howdy getting happier. It's, again, that contrast of, like, Bo right now as a person seems to be in this, in storyline anyway, he seems to be in this, obviously, in the darkness. He's lost Bray, he's lost his brother, and he's now angry at the world. He feels like he's being forgotten by everyone. And then Howdy is getting happier because Bo is realising more and more just how true Uncle Howdy, like the words that Uncle Howdy's been speaking are, you know? So I am still confused though, because is it Bo that has set all of these puppets free, or is it Howdy? Because I know they're the same person, but as in story, they're two different characters, right? They're two different people, you know what I mean? It's a split personality kind of thing. So was it Uncle Howdy that set the puppets free, or was it Bo that set them free? Because, I don't know. Again, look, there's still a lot of questions to do with the WYATT SICKS in general and Uncle Howdy in general, but hopefully eventually we do get some answers. So then, just to finish off, Bo says, we made them remember, we made them all remember, obviously referring to Nightbird, and then last Monday when the massacre happened, and then Uncle Howdy simply replies, yes, we did. And it is very true. It's very true. All of a sudden everyone is so invested in Bo Dallas, in Uncle Howdy. Like I said earlier, like when Bo was doing the Believe stuff or the B Team stuff or the Social Outcast stuff, no one was that interested. Like, he was kind of just there. It was fun to be like, oh, all you have to do is believe, you know? Like, it was fun to join in with that, but it was a meme character, so no one really was buying in, you know what I mean? Whereas now, everyone knows who Taylor is, everyone knows who Bo is, everyone knows who Uncle Howdy is, and everybody wants to see what carnage they're going to wreak. I don't know if that's the right word, but You know what I mean? Like, they don't, like, everybody wants to see what they're going to do next. I'm so invested. Like, I'll be honest, I thought after Roman stepped away and the Bloodline stuff and after Cody finished the story, I was like, okay, well, what's next? Because like, every wrestling fan goes through stages, right, where you're a bit more into it one month and then maybe the other month it's not as good storyline-wise and you're not as invested. I don't know, I was worried, but then the Uncle Howdy stuff came around and now I am heavily invested. And then just to close the video, I didn't actually clock this when I reacted to it. Obviously, I posted a video after this happened, so like early hours of this morning, a few hours ago, and I reacted to this whole segment, and I did not once clock or realise that this was taking place in the Firefly Funhouse. Now, I've seen people be a bit concerned about this because obviously the Firefly Funhouse was inside Bray's mind, just like the puppets, right? Just like the Fiend was his darkness. You know, all of this was in Bray's head. So the main thing I've seen is, well, how are Bo and Uncle Howdy in there? It makes sense for Uncle Howdy to be in there because he's a Bray creation, right? But how is Bo in there, and how is this interview being filmed? How are they in the Firefly Funhouse? Like, what's going on? And to be honest, I don't know. But it could just be that, obviously, this group is intended to be more realistic in the sense of there's less supernatural. There's not, like, Undertaker spawning lightning down to the ring. Or, like, you know, it's not that level. It's more realistic. It's more creepy and boots on the ground kind of thing. So it could just be that they literally went to the set of the Firefly Funhouse and were like, look, let's just do the segment here. It's a nice little callback. People will pick up on this. And, you know, it is nice. It's a nice little callback, nice little Easter egg, if you will. Because I didn't notice it. I didn't even notice that there was a door there. Like, look, like I said, I reacted to it at like 3:30 in the morning. I was already half asleep. So, I didn't pick up on it. But, yeah, so it's in the Firefly Funhouse, and the thing that I like about this is that obviously the Funhouse is bright, it's colourful, whereas here, it's not. It's dark, it's gloomy, you can only just about see the door, you can't see much else, and it just, I think maybe this is how Bo sees the Firefly Funhouse. So Bray saw it as this cheerful thing that was slightly creepy, that was like, oh, you know, we're all friends, and it was like this kids' TV show, right? Whereas now Bo, there's no colours, there's no joy, there's nothing, right? It's just darkness, which, again, symbolises Bo and Howdy. Howdy is dark, you know? And Uncle Howdy seems to be Bo's darkness, but Bo now is also in darkness. Like, he doesn't necessarily need Uncle Howdy because he's already in the darkness, you know? He's lost his brother. He's lost his best friend. You know what I mean? Like, they're very similar and so opposite at the same time. And I think that's why this segment worked. Like, just the contrast of these two. Obviously, Bray had the Fiend, right? Finn Balor has the Demon. You know? Like, this is not uncommon. But I feel like for Bo and Howdy, as of right now, where they both are, Bo as a person and Uncle Howdy as a character, they are both in the darkness. Uncle Howdy lives in that darkness, right? Whereas Bo, it's a temporary darkness in the sense of, you know, it's not going to be this gloomy all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, just everything about this segment was insane, man. Absolutely insane. But yeah, that is everything that was on the VHS tape, I believe. If I have missed anything, then do let me know in the comments. But yeah, let me know your theories and stuff as well, man, because I'm interested. What do you think this all means? But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, do hit that like button, turn on those notifications so you don't miss another upload. And most importantly, hit that subscribe button. And I will see you in the next video.